Let's take another look at the head of the data frame. And you'll see that it has this winner column. And the winner column has both the city name and the team name for the team that won that game. It turns out that most of the time all we're going to need is just the team name. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take the data in the winner column, but only get the team name out of it. And I want to store that in a new column. So let's write a function that given a team name, or that given a team, we're going to get just the team name and not the city name. So I'll call this get team name, and we'll pass it in a team. Now, the team in this winner column can have multiple words. Some of the cities are multiple words. The team name itself will only be one word and will always come at the end. So we can use this to our advantage. So first of all, I'm going to return a value, and I'm going to split the team on the space. That will give me the elements in the team in a list. I'm always going to want the last one. So I can just use -1 as the index. Now, if I do something like this, get team name for the New England Patriots, I would expect this should return Patriots, and if I hit Shift Enter, I'll find out that's correct. So now what I want to do is call this get team name function for every value in the winner column and store the results in a new column. So first of all, I know that I'm going to want to use the winner column, and I'm going to use the apply method on the series. And I'm going to pass it a function to apply to every value in that series. And of course, in this case, that would be get team name. So now if I hit Shift Enter, we're going to see that we get a series, which is going to be each of the team names for the winner of that game. Now what I want to do is I want to store this in a new column. And it turns out that creating a new column in a Pandas DataFrame is very similar to creating a new key in a Python dictionary. All you do is you specify the name. Actually, I want to do this up here. Games, df, I'm going to say win team name. And if this column does not exist, it will be created. So now if I, again, hit Shift Enter, and in the next cell, gamesdf.head, and I scroll over to the left, you'll see that indeed we have the win team name column. Now, we don't need this winner column anymore. So what I can do is I can drop it. So I'll say gamesdf, call the drop method, and pass it the name of the column that I wish to drop. This is going to give me an error. And it's saying key error, winner not found in axis. Remember that a data frame is two-dimensional. It has rows and columns. These are the two axes. The rows, or the index, is axis 0, and the columns are axis 1. The default is axis 0 for the drop method. So what it's looking for is it's looking for rows in the, so it's looking for values in the index that correspond, that are equal to winner. And there aren't any, so that's why we get this error. So what I need to do is I need to tell it to use axis 1 and look in the columns. Now I'll get back a data frame. But I want to essentially replace the existing data frame with this one. Now I could reassign it, but there's actually a better way to do this, is the in place keyword argument set to true. And now if I look at games df.head, we'll see that the winner column is gone, but the win team name column is still there. So since we have the winning team, how would we get the team that lost that particular game? Well, we know that the teams that played in the game are the home team name and the away team name. So if we compare the win team name to the home team name and they're equal, then it means the away team lost. Otherwise, the home team lost. So we can write another function, get loss team name, but this time we're going to need a row. So I'll say if row, and remember a row is a series where the column names are the index. The row home team name equals row win team name. In this case, the team that lost should be the away team. Otherwise, we want to have, well, I think, the home team name. Now what I want to do is apply this function to every row in the data frame. So what I'll need to do is call apply on the data frame. And I'll need to pass it the get lost team name function. And I'll want to, this will return a series. And I'll want to store this in a new column called lost team name. Shift enter. And we get a key error again. Now, even though this is a different error message, it's actually occurring for the same reason that it did in the drop method before. Because by default, the apply method, when applied to a data frame, is going to look for these values in the index, not in the columns. So what I need to do is simply, again, axis equals 1. And if we look at the head, this time we will have the winning team and the losing team. So I'm going to do one thing here to a little quick sanity check, and I'm just going to paste this in. What I'm doing here is I'm applying a lambda function to each row in the data frame. And this lambda function will return 1 if the winning team is equal to the losing team, otherwise 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to count the number of rows in which the winning team is equal to the losing team. And then we're going to sum those up. This should return 0 if our get lost team name function worked correctly. So let's see if it does. And sure enough, it does. Actually, there is one other thing that I want to do here. There's another list of columns that I want to drop in order to make this data frame easier to read in the future. If you look in the GitHub repository you can find the notebook and see all of these. But that's what we're going to be working with for the rest of these videos. In the next video, we're going to take a look at a very interesting feature of the Pandas DataFrame.